What's good, everyone? It's your boy Natsu with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMV Sports Zone, and we got another edition of Washington Football Weekly, the weekly live stream that we had here on the channel, dedicated to, of course, talking about our Washington football team. And of course, I got Abdullah on the channel this week. I mean, you guys know who Abdullah is from his previous content, man. He's been pumping out Washington football team content, Washington Wizards content. I mean, general NBA, NFL content. This guy, I'm so glad, we had that big intro video a month ago now, but I'm so glad that he's on the channel producing great content. But for the people out there who might not know who you are, Abdullah, from, previous Washington football team live streams or potentially not watching anything on the channel thus far, can you please introduce yourself to the channel?
Yeah, man, I'm Abdullah. I've been a big DMV sports fan ever since I was a kid, and I'm so blessed to be part of the DMV Sports Zone group. And I just love talking about our beloved football team.
Sure, man. And I mean, there's a lot to talk about, bro. I mean, the first thing I want to ask you about, just a short recap of preseason game one, because I know you put out a video, I put out a video last week, previous to the game. And I just want your thoughts really quickly on preseason game number one. Who stood out the most to you, the least to you, and what are your thoughts on this team moving forward?
Our first defensive unit looked amazing. Just off rip, that strip sack on Cam Newton, Chase Young just looking as dominant as usual, and seeing Fitzpatrick connect with Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas, that was nice to see. But I was a little bit concerned about some of the decisions that Taylor Heinicke was taking. It's kind of questionable. A lot of people were saying that he could be the number one quarterback, but some of the decisions that he made just didn't seem as if he could handle that number one position.
Yeah.
So, and also Dustin Hopkins, he's we got to talk about him. I love the guy, but you got to make kicks under 45 yards in the NFL, dude.
For sure. And I understand what people were saying about like the family issue that he had and stuff, and like how he's dealing with a lot of grief in his family and everything. And I understand that, and people were like quick to say that. I think it was the day after the immediate reaction and of his missed kicks and all that. But I mean, if we're gonna be honest, guys, this missed kicks problem has been going on for years. Like, I forgot, I think it was who was it? It was Kevin Sheehan or some prominent like Washington football team DC area radio guy posted on Twitter. It was early last week, basically saying how Dustin Hopkins, this isn't a one preseason game issue. This has been going on for a long time. I mean, obviously a lot of us know about the Cincinnati game and London.
Started there.
I mean, a lot of people are still talking about that. It tells you how much, I mean, Rio, a guest on this channel, talks about how that really deflated that season and how we could have went on a potential run. I definitely agree with him on that. But even like last season, he was a below average kicker. The season before, he was also pretty below average. And I remember retweeting the tweet. So if you guys want to check it out, go check out DMV Sports Zone on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, it's been an issue. Hopefully he can get corrected. And, I mean, at least make the kicks, between 40 and 50 yards, right? Because we know 50 yards plus, I mean,
that's like
for him. Yeah. But now what are your thoughts on Jared Patterson, man? I mean, the DMV native, PG County native, Chase Young friend, DeMatha, I believe, high school.
Scored 8 touchdowns in college. I really hope he makes the team. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's our running back number 2 above McKissick, because just he's so fast and shifty, judging by how he played against the Patriots. And, he had that one catch on the sideline. It was like literally the ball was about to hit the ground. He should make this team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I mean, I was going to save this question for later, but bro, Jared Patterson, Peyton Barber, like, I mean, do you think they're both going to make it? One of them is going to make it? Who do you think is the guy right now?
I love Peyton Barber. He's that 3rd and 1 type of guy, 4th and 1 type of guy. But
he wasn't even that during the preseason game.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah. But if we had to keep 3, I'm taking Patterson over him.
Yeah, I think ultimately though, I think we're gonna keep 4. I think we're gonna keep 4, keep 6 at receiver, potentially even keep 2 at quarterback. I mean, Kyle Allen, depends on what he shows. We're gonna talk about a little bit more about this later on the stream, but depends on what he shows tomorrow night, right? Because apparently he's going to get a lot of snaps in. So hopefully he's ready to go. But I could see them actually keeping 2 quarterbacks, keeping 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, and like 3 tight ends. And but yeah, I mean it should be a fight, right? Like we have a talented roster right now, and I think Jared Patterson, bro, like I don't think he can make it to the practice squad. I think a team is going to pick him up.
Yeah,
like,
for
release
sure.
him, I think
I thought the same way about Kelvin Harmon as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say though, with week 1, I do also want to get your thoughts on someone who we talked about before the stream, right? Before the stream went live, and that is Antonio Gandy-Golden, and of course Kelvin Harmon, right? Kelvin Harmon earlier this week was cut by the Washington football team, was given very little action the first preseason game, and Antonio Gandy-Golden still on this roster. And I want your thoughts on both that situation, right? The tail end of that, or not even the tail end, that specific battle that we had throughout the offseason, Antonio Gandy-Golden, Kelvin Harmon, and also who do you think will be these 6 receivers or potentially 7 receivers that we keep on this roster? And that.
Well, now that Kyle Allen's going to get more snaps, I think AGG's stock goes a little bit up because he was catching balls from Steven Montez, who isn't the greatest quarterback out there.
Yeah.
But it's his time to shine. Kelvin Harmon's gone. You got Steven Sims as competition. You also got Dax Milne, the guy from BYU. You just gotta be able to catch the balls. I was really hoping he caught that 2-point conversion. I was so happy for him, but then when I saw the replay, it sucked, man. But I think Dax Milne has been looking great at training camp as well, and hopefully his stock goes up with Kyle Allen playing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Sims, I don't know, man. It's just like a whole toss-up. It's like a love and hate relationship with him. So I think he keeps 6, but between those 3, it's kind of hard to choose, to be honest. If it does go to Steven Sims, it's probably because veteran has been there, and Dax Milne's a rookie, and AGG's still young. So
yeah, and I mean you can't forget about for as much as we like to trash him for his recent fumbles on the kick return, punt return end, he does, I guess, have that advantage. I do also want to get your thoughts though on DeAndre Carter, who I think is sort of the forgotten man in this wide receiver group, and I think actually, I mean, if we're gonna say our 6 receivers or potentially 5 or 7, doesn't really matter, our wide receiver group come the final 53, I actually think it's going to be Terry, someone who we'll discuss right after this, and Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, Adam Humphries, Cam Sims, and I think, surprise, I think DeAndre Carter is going to be that 6th guy. I don't know if you might go a different way with it.
Yeah, and like when he was returning punts, he looked good, man. I liked it. I would, him being a punt returner way better than anybody else we have, better than Steven Sims is all I can say. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Curtis Samuel, I mean, he's back. Curtis Samuel is back on the Washington football team after first it was a groin injury he suffered in, I believe it was OTAs, and missed a good almost 2 months really from that. But then he also had like COVID, like actual COVID that he also had to deal with. So it was a whole situation for him. But he was back on the practice field early this week. And I want your thoughts on Curtis Samuel. Do you think we'll see anything out of him this preseason? But more importantly, what do you think his role will be come regular season time? Do you think he's going to be an absolute star on this team? Do you think he's going to be more of a gadget guy? Do you think he's going to be the perfect complement for Terry McLaurin, his college roommate? I mean, what are your thoughts on Curtis Samuel here in DC?
So one thing for sure, Curtis Samuel is just a Swiss Army knife. You can put him anywhere with this offense, And now he's playing with Terry McLaurin. It's a great fit. Like defenses now have to focus on him and Terry, and now also we have De'Ami running deep. And Logan Thomas up the middle. And Antonio Gibson running the ball. I love it, man. Curtis. I was a little nervous. Him being hurt. Is he gonna have that injury history? But it's good. I love the guy. A gadget weapon for sure, and I can't wait to see how a 4-3 guy, just explosive and so fast. I can't wait to see what Scott Turner does with him. Scott Turner should know what to do now that he has weapons around him.
Yeah. Jairus's question here: is Curtis playing? I'm not sure if he's playing tomorrow night. I don't think he is. But I heard from Coach Rivera early this week that he don't be surprised if he actually gets some reps come potentially game 3 of the preseason. But of course, the most important thing is he's going to be ready come week 1, and I think he's going to be ready to go. But Man, I think Curtis Samuel is going to be a legit stud. I think he's going to have 1,000-yard receiving season for the first time in his career this upcoming season. I think he's going to be an absolute tear on this team. I mean, you saw that Cam Sims play, or the first play that first pass that Fitzpatrick threw to Terry, where he just like threw him open pretty much, right? I don't know if you caught that, but like Cam Sims was running wide open behind Terry McLaurin. They were like running the same route, but like side by side. So Fitzy threw to Terry McLaurin, right, his security blanket pretty much. But like Cam Sims was like outrunning the defensive back. So just imagine if that's Curtis Samuel, bro. Imagine Curtis Samuel running that sort of route and getting open past everybody, and Fitzy just throwing it down the field, giving us that air attack that we desperately need, that we haven't had since Kirk. I mean, if we're going to be honest, we haven't had in a long, long time. I mean, just like, what are your thoughts on what Curtis can do for this offense, let alone like him as a player and his production this year?
Just be able to move the ball downfield, years ago, it was all about our defense not being good and our offense keeping us in the game. Now that we have elite defense and an offense that can move the ball downfield, the NFL should be on the lookout, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I do also want to get to another receiver on this receiver sort of trend that we're on right now, and that is Adam Humphries and the Fitzpatrick-Adam Humphries connection, the reconnection that they're having out there on the practice field, but also in the preseason game. I mean, Adam Humphries looks like a serious target on third downs, man. I mean, he already, I believe, caught 2 passes on third down, preseason game number 1. A lot of reports out there talking about how during training camp and really throughout the offseason, they've really reconnected a lot on that specific down, on that specific, I guess, circumstance on the field and stuff. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on Adam Humphries? Do you think he's going to have a bounce back season this year? Because you just have to go like 2 or 3 years ago, right? And he was one of the best slot receivers in the league. Do you think he's going to get back to that point with?
Yeah, for sure. I think he'll have,
the guy who pretty much got him his career year a couple years back.
Yeah, no, I think he'll have an important role in this offense. He kind of gives me a Cole Beasley type vibe, a receiver that can give you a first down on 3rd and 3, being willing to catch those tough balls. And, he's going to be an important part of this offense.
Yeah. Uriah, Jarris, Hawk right here. We in the zone that DMV Sports built. Appreciate that. Thank you guys. And then Patrick West, of course, the first one on here. Thank you guys so much for joining. The next question I want to ask you, Abdullah, is regarding Kyle Allen being back. I mean, we had Curtis Samuel being back this week, Kyle Allen being back, and Kyle Allen's actually, per Coach Rivera himself, likely going to get some good reps in preseason game number 2. What do you want to see out of Kyle Allen? What do you think we're going to see out of Kyle Allen tomorrow night? And do you think he's actually going to make the final 53-man roster? Because I know we talked about this, a little bit, but I think personally, in the end, they're going to keep potentially like 2 quarterbacks is a legit option for this team, not 3, 2. I'm not saying they're going to go that route, but like that's a serious consideration come, final cuts and stuff. Do you think Kyle Allen's even going to make the roster this year?
I think he will, just because of that Carolina Panther connection. And, Kyle Allen, not too long ago was putting up some good numbers against not elite defense, number 1 type of defenses, those starters. And now he's probably going to go against second stringers. He should ball out or somewhat not be bad, because, you got those guys that are playing for their roster spot. And, you're coming off an injury, a serious injury, but you want to prove to the coaches that you're still that guy and you still can be that guy. And, hey, if you feel like you can compete for the number 1 spot, you got to prove it out in the field.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of people forget this, but the Washington football team did trade, I believe it was a 5th-round pick, if I'm not mistaken, for Kyle Allen. So they did – a lot of people forget, but, like, they do have somewhat of an investment in Kyle Allen, right? He's not part of the last regime. He was brought over not just as a free agent, like as a low-risk free agent. And they traded a draft pick for him. So I think they do want him to ultimately end up on this roster. He knows the playbook well, right? He knows the coaches and everything. So, I mean, it should be interesting. I feel like his roster spot is seriously on the line. Like, I feel like he needs to show something tomorrow night, if not, next week, and really claim that 3rd quarterback position. But if not, bro, like, I think, again, 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 6 receivers. I think that's a legit option for this offense this year, maybe 3 tight ends. But we shall see on that front. I do want to get to another point of discussion from last Sunday, actually, and that was the top 100 list, NFL top 100 list. And the two players thus far, potentially only two players from the Washington football team that are on the list. And Brandon Sheriff at number 98. So you guys know I'm super fond of. And Chase Young at number 61. What are your thoughts on their rankings? And do you think, our boy Scary Terry will actually make this list?
Sadly, I don't think he will, just because we're at like 60 range and the amount of disrespect we get. The whole NFL just hates us, even though we still changed our name. But, the NFL top 100 list, every year it's just the same old stuff. I don't really look into that, but I love when our players are on there. I saw that Chase Young was on there. I really thought Montez could have been on there, to be honest. But I think Brandon, our first All-Pro since that punter that we had, gotta go. You gotta be higher.
Yeah. No, like I said, super fond of Brandon Sheriff. I know some guy, this one particular person in this YouTube Washington football team sphere who's not super fond of Brandon Sheriff and Corey from On the Warpath. But I'm super fond of Brandon Sheriff, always have been. And we gift this guy up for a bag of chips after giving up another All-Pro caliber player and Trent Williams on that offensive line, bro, I'm going to go crazy. Speaking of, Trent Williams was 41, I believe, on the top 100 list, or 42. Man, it's like, I know fans want to get over the whole Trent Williams situation, but I'm one of those people who is not going to, bro. Like, that guy was the silverback, bro. Like, he was not just one of the best left tackles of the last couple of years, one of the best left tackles of this generation, if not one of the best left tackles of all time. We're talking strictly talent, right? And even on the top 100 show, there were former players and current players out talking about how Trent Williams is one of the best left tackles of all time already, without winning a Super Bowl or anything. So that's one of the things that bugged me the wrong way. I actually watched that clip on YouTube, on NFL YouTube. One of the first things I was looking out for, because obviously, he's a former Washington football player. But no, it was going back to Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, Brandon Sheriff. I think Brandon Sheriff should have been a little higher. I think Chase Young was just about where he should be. Mm-hmm. And if Terry McLaurin doesn't make this list, bro, I know it's top 40, which is high. And I agree with you. I don't think he's going to. But if Terry McLaurin does not make this list over guys like Cole, I'm not going to get the vaccine Beasley, Corey Davis, who had 900 yards last year in his career high season, bro, for the Tennessee Titans. If Terry McLaurin does not make this list, I don't know what I'm going to do, bro. Like, obviously, I think we need to react, right, on his channel and stuff. Sure. I think we're probably going to have something about it come Sunday. But, that's insane. Like, the amount of disrespect if Terry is not on this list over guys like Corey Davis and Cole Beasley. Okay, that's insane to me.
It's insane. No, it's just the NFL just loves disrespecting us, man.
Yeah, man. It's a whole nother level. Like, man, I can't wait for Terry to ball out this season with a quarterback for once, bro. Like, throwing him the ball. It's going to be magical. Another guy I wanted to talk to you about that was on the top 100 list, a surprise, and someone who literally from the first moment of free agency that I wanted here on the Washington football team, and that guy's KJ Wright, number 67 on the top 100 list, and he's still a free agent. What do you make about that? Do you think, Washington, do you think we should potentially go after a KJ Wright, especially when we have John frickin' Bostic as a starting linebacker here?
Yeah, I think the linebacker would be nice. KJ Wright, still a free agent. Why not? Give him that minimum deal, whatever he wants. And, John Bostic, we all know that it's a love-hate relationship with him as well. But, Jamin Davis will have his growing pains, and, Holcomb's still there with his beautiful mullet. So I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I agree. Since we do have Jairus on the stream, and we were talking about this a little bit last night. Well, I was on the chat, and Jairus and Tim from Tim Sports Talk, you guys should check out, was talking about this on his stream. I mean, the whole Antonio Gibson, Kyle Allen coming out this week in a press conference saying that Antonio Gibson is going to be used pretty much like Curtis Samuel, like Christian McCaffrey this upcoming season. I mean, how big of a season do you think Antonio Gibson is going to have? Like, you could even put stats out there if you want. And do you think really like the sky's the limit for him?
Oh yeah, for sure. The sky's the limit. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of fantasy owners just got so happy when he said that. You gotta be Antonio Gibson, another hit, a home run with the 3rd round pick. I love the guy. You know, a better season than last year. An improved offensive line, a team that can pass the ball. Just the run game would be so effective. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like, I mean, you know this, but like, from really the start of this channel, like I've been comparing this guy to Alvin Kamara. So you guys know how high I am on Antonio Gibson. I think he's gonna have an insane year this year. I mean, fantasy owners. I mean, that's your guy. Like we saw in the first preseason game, I don't remember seeing Antonio Gibson getting that many targets in the passing game and that few reps, right? Like in all of like the last season, right? So I think Antonio Gibson is going to be – he's going to get all the reps in the running game, obviously, all the reps pretty much in the passing game. J.D. McKissick's role is going to be shrinked, and I think he's going to have a crazy year. And seeing Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, back-to-back 3rd-round picks going off this year, I mean, do you think that's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, for sure. 1,000%. An improved offense, finally going to show the league that they shouldn't be disrespected, and they'll see.
Yeah, that's crazy. Another question. I mean, since we're talking about top 100, I might as well ask you this question. And it's not really about the Washington football team. It's really about the NFL as a whole. Who are your top 5 players in the NFL right now, given that, of course, 100 to 40 were revealed on the top 100 list on Sunday night. And then this upcoming Sunday night will be 40 to 1, if I'm not mistaken. Top 5 players in the NFL right now. Go.
Oh, man. Well, of course, you got to put Aaron Donald at 1.
Okay.
I'll put Mahomes at 2.
Okay.
And at 3, man, it's tough. You got to give me some names, man, because
okay.
So many.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. I mean, you could put Christian McCaffrey up there because he's going to be back healthy.
I'll put McCaffrey in my top 5. Yeah.
Okay. So 80, Mahomes, McCaffrey. Who else?
Quentin Nelson. Oh, Quentin Nelson. Sorry.
Nelson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Quentin Nelson. That's 4. Who's your 5th guy?
I'm gonna say Devontae Adams.
The disrespect. You put Devontae Adams over his MVP quarterback, my guy.
Not switch it. I'm here right now. Aaron Rodgers over
there. There you go. But
I didn't want to put 2 QBs, but it's Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah. I was gonna say like this was also a chance for us to really hype up Aaron Rodgers to DC, that whole train that we got going among the fan base. But Aaron Rodgers, he has to be in there. I think I would put Aaron Donald. I would put Mahomes. I would put Aaron Rodgers. That's 3. I'd put Brady. Still, that's 4. And 5. Who do I have at 5? Let me check my notes. 5. Surprise. I got Derrick Henry. 2,000 plus yards last year on the ground. This guy has been carrying the Tennessee Titans offense. Obviously, now he's going to have Julio Jones right alongside A.J. Brown. But he's been putting in the work. And I think right now, obviously, I'm considering the injury, right? For McCaffrey, I think when he's fully healthy, potentially he could be that top back once again at the end of the season. But right now, I'm considering health, considering injury history, considering how Derrick Henry has pretty much, again, carried the Tennessee Titans offense for the last couple of years, made Ryan Tannehill an actual great quarterback, not average, not above average, a great quarterback in this league. If you check his stats, if you check his production, check the game film, I got that as my top 5. Again, Aaron Donald, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Derrick Henry. That's my top 5 right now.
I don't know if I can put Brady up there. I still think he's the GOAT, but I don't know. I don't know.
This is the same conversation that I usually have with, like, I mean, we can get to it now too because it's a hot discussion, especially with LeBron James getting 0 votes as the best player in the NBA from executives and scouts right now, which is so disrespectful. But I mean, I consider, like, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's all about the legacy right now, obviously, because if you're 50 years old, like, and you're not playing well, like, I'm not going to put you top 5 regardless. But no, I have to put Brady up there, man. Listen, I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have weapons. I know the defense is legit. I know. This guy, he played 20 years in New England. His first season, COVID-shortened offseason in all. First season on a new team, he wins the Super Bowl. Puts up actually pretty amazing stats if you look at it. Was really good down the stretch. I mean, he has to be top 5. Like,
is he in top 5 quarterbacks too?
Of course, if he's a top 5 player, yes, top 5 quarterback.
So where is he? Like what, 5, 4?
I mean, if you look at my list, Mahomes, Rodgers. To be honest, this might be a hot take.
You're putting him over.
I think Rodgers played better than Mahomes last year. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
No.
I think he did.
No. I see.
I think he did. And so, I mean, if I'm saying top quarterbacks, I'm not even gonna say 1, 2. I'm gonna say 1A, 1B, Mahomes, Rodgers, and then 3 would be Brady. Or actually, now that I think about it, Brady has to be there, in my opinion. I mean, obviously he has the allegations, all that, but Watson, I think a lot of people forget that he's a top 5 talent at the quarterback position.
Oh, yeah.
Lamar also has to be up there as well. Josh Allen. I mean, we didn't even talk about him. Russell Wilson. Although, like, the second half of last season, he usually does that every single year. He usually is very hot at the beginning of the season and then just falls off towards the end. And that's why Seattle Seahawks are always playoff contenders, but never more than that over the last 10 years, pretty much. But, or not 10, maybe 8, 9 years. But I would say, if I'm going with top 5 quarterbacks, we can do that list right now. Again, I would say 1A, 1B, Mahomes, Rodgers. 3, based off of right now, not like future, right now, probably be Josh Allen, actually, now that I think about it some more. But I'm putting Brady as my top 5 player because, like, it's for the same reason that, like, Mahomes would be higher for me than some other, like, quarterbacks, if that makes sense. Because, like, when you say player, like, I think, like, all around, right? I think of, like, mental tough, like, I think of everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Brady's in my top 5. I just have to put him there. But I think you can make a legit argument for Josh Allen being 3, and then Brady being 4, Lamar being 5. That would probably be. So the top 5 quarterbacks, just to say it once again, would be, for me, Mahomes, Rodgers, Josh Allen, Brady, Lamar. That's my top 5. It's not laughable, Jared. I mean, I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. Like, I mean, this is DMVSportsZone. We root for Lamar Jackson on everything. Go check out our Twitter. Go check out our Instagram. We do that. But, like, objectively, one, I was super high on Josh Allen coming into the draft. One of the few people out there who were. If you look out YouTube community or general social media, everybody was talking about, oh, this guy always overthrows the ball. He's not going to be anything special. He's coming out of Wyoming. He didn't do anything in college. You saw the potential, you saw the talent, and the Buffalo Bills groomed him into being a MVP legit quarterback last year. He could have won the MVP award last year if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers and his spectacular season. So I got to put Josh Allen at number 3. Wilson, Roger Smith, again, Russell Wilson is amazing, but he always falls off towards the end of the season. A lot of fans don't really understand that because they see the stats. They're like, wow, look at the stats that he puts up. But look at his splits. Like, the first half, amazing MVP numbers, and then he just falls off. So I mean, Wilson has to be top 5, top 6, right? But that's my list. Do you have a different top 5 list at the quarterback position?
Of course. So of course, Mahomes at 1, Rodgers at 2. Okay. We got Watson. Okay. I got Wilson. Okay. I got Lamar.
Okay, so Josh Allen,
it's one season, dude. I just can't. I don't want to get. Yeah, it's one season.
One season. I mean, Lamar had one. I mean, if we're gonna be fair, he had an insane MVP season, but I mean, he fell off a little bit last year.
Yeah, but he still played at a high level.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
Roger Smith's putting Herbert at 5. That's kind of interesting.
I think he will get there.
You think so? I think, but not right now. I don't think he. But I think
not right now. For sure. Not right now. One season, rookie season. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback, or maybe top 6, maybe like top 10, maybe towards the end of that top 10 right now. But no, Justin Herbert is
Real deal.
legit. I always going into like what do you call it, like fantasy drafts and stuff, always try to get some like really great quarterbacks. And Justin Herbert at the end of last season, he was like still a waiver wire fine and everything, and like I made sure to pick him up, bro. Like he was putting up stats like crazy. I mean, he wasn't winning too much, which is a theme for him, right? If we're gonna be honest, in college too was sort of the same situation. But I think Justin Herbert has the talent. He's gonna be a star in this league
For sure.
Yeah, and he broke rookie records, I believe, as well
Yeah.
at the quarterback position. So, but no, Jairus is just spamming the chat, man. Russell Wilson, I thank you. We agree on something. He does be falling off, right? At the end of the season, if we're gonna be honest, he does. Oh, what is your take on this?
Yeah.
This is tough. I'm not gonna lie, but
this is tough. I still take Herbert just because everyone says that Burrow can't throw deep, but I still think Burrow has the capability of being an elite quarterback. But what Justin Herbert showed last year, oh man.
Yeah, I agree with you. Speaking of, I know we're not gonna get into it much on this video because obviously we're still talking about preseason. We're not talking about week 1 yet. Chargers are scary. They're a scary week 1 opponent. I think a lot of fans are taking them lightly. I mean, this might be a little early. I actually have the Chargers beating us week 1. I think the Chargers are going to be very legit this year. Their defense is coming back fully healthy. They got, obviously, Derwin James coming back, who was a missing piece for them. All-pro type of player who, obviously, we didn't draft. I believe we drafted Deron Payne that year. I mean, it turned out great on both ends, but still. And, obviously, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I mean, their tight end situation is a little murky right now. The offensive line is improved, though. I mean, yeah. Speaking of Bosa, yeah, of course. I mean, they got some players on that defense and that offense.
Yeah, I agree. But I think we win the game just because
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not saying this guy to you. I'm saying this guy to Jairus, bro. Like, what is this, bro? Jairus, Abdullah, do you know Jairus's hot takes, bro? Like
no, I don't. What's his hottest take?
So one of his takes, this was from last night, so this is fresh off the oven, bro. Antonio Gibson right now more talented than Christian McCaffrey.
No, I'm sorry.
That's one of them. Terry McLaurin, he's gonna shy away from this, but he did say this on the stream. I can go back and check, bro. But and this is all in good fun. Jairus is a very good content creator. Go check him out, guys. Like, jokes aside, he's a great content creator in this Washington football team community, and he's been very supportive of this channel. I just like having fun with him. But the last with these debates, the last point though was Terry McLaurin. This was, I think, a month ago. Said that he would take Terry McLaurin. He did correct himself. He did say D-Hop was better, but the first point he said was, "I would take Terry McLaurin over any receiver in the league." And I'm sorry, right now, bro, that's just not the case. Like, you got Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, Tyreek Hill as well. Like, Tyreek Hill is not the most polished route runner, but I mean, he does deep threat better than anything that Terry does. If we're gonna be honest, at this point, right? Terry could get there, but like, we got to be honest with ourselves. But
takes seem pretty biased, but
Yeah. Jairus, another Chargers comment here. A good team. Okay, at least you admit that. I mean, they're not a pushover team, though. I'm not going to be surprised if we lose to them.
Yeah.
You have them winning, and that's totally understandable. I'm just saying, like, we should not treat these Chargers as if they're, I don't know, the Houston Texans this upcoming season.
That was our whole past, treating teams like we could beat them, and we end up losing to them.
Exactly. Now, and this is an actual, like, solid team too. This isn't even like, again, like the Texans this upcoming season. I don't mean to roast them, but yeah. I do want to. I think this was actually a comment earlier. I didn't put this in my notes, but I have over the last couple of live streams. Let me see if this was an actual. This is an interesting one, and this is gonna be interesting because we are two young content creators in this Washington football team YouTube community. But I mean, Abel did ask this question. Abel did ask this question. Who are your top 5 all time Washington football team, formerly Redskins players. I mean, have at it.
Dude,
this is tough. It's putting you on the spot.
we're gonna have to throw some names. I don't want to disrespect anybody out there.
Yeah.
Of course, Daryl Green. Yes. If we go in order, we can put in order. Or?
For this one, no, we don't have to put in order because this is.
We got Daryl Green. You think it's too much if we say Sean Taylor?
Do you, bro? I mean, do you? It's up to you.
Rest in peace to him. Taken too soon. I don't care. I'm putting Sean in my top 5, dude. That guy was so fun to watch.
All right. It's 2.
Oh, Sammy Ball. That brother played played every position.
It's true.
You gotta throw some names, man. You think we quarterback could
Rigo?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. John Riggins. Okay. Number 5. This is the last one. This is tough, I know. But
you think a quarterback could be up there?
You? I mean, it could be. Quarterback is the most important position on the field. And this is what you get when you ask 2 young content creators their top 5 Washington players of all time. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm blanking out, man. I don't know if I can get a 5th one.
Okay, how about this? Taylor is here to support you on with this number 5 pick.
Help me out, Taylor, man.
Huh?
I'm about to tell Taylor to help me out here because I'm blanking on the 5th.
How about I'll put out some names. Joe Theismann, Art Monk, Gary Clark, Santana Moss. Who else?
Theismann. I want to put a receiver.
He did win an MVP award, if I'm not mistaken.
No. I'm putting Theismann. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I would say I agree with you with the top 4. The only difference for me would be my guy Art Monk over Theismann. That's pretty much the only difference. I think Art Monk is the best receiver that we've had in this organization. I think again, you guys know how high we both are on Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin could potentially be the best all-time receiver in this organization's history, which is saying a lot. But right now, man, you got to support the legends. Art Monk, he's one of them. But I think I agree with you. Those are my top 5 players. But Jairus is top 5, man. This is the best top 5 list I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like, this is absolutely insane. He has Dwayne Haskins as his number 1. I mean, that's the truth, bro. Like, Dwayne Haskins? Do you guys not know the stats that he put up last year? He put up a grand total of 7 touchdowns and 7 picks. I mean, that's magic, bro. We're talking about Fitz magic. Throw away Fitz magic. That there's no magic. That's Fitz tragic. Okay, Dwayne Haskins put up some legends like Sean Springs, Dwayne Haskins' mentor, Josh Morgan, DC native, Leonard Hankerson, bro. Who can not forget this man's drops, bro? They were legendary. And then Albert Hainsworth, bro.
The best contract in NFL history.
Oh my gosh, bro. I mean, we're still talking about how great that contract was to this day, 2021. Like, that's some legendary stuff. Jairus, that has to be your best take right there. Taylor, his top 5 or top 6, I guess. Joe Jacoby, underrated guy. We forgot about London Fletcher.
Dude.
Clinton Portis, Santana Moss, Sean Taylor, Joe Jacoby. I like that list.
Yeah.
I do think you got to put Daryl Green. Come on. I mean, he played here for 20 years. I mean, I think for me personally, he's the best Washington Redskins player of all time. I don't even think that's
so fast.
Like, I mean, it's sort of like the Kobe thing, right? With like the Lakers, like he played there for so long and so well.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to give him that respect over even a guy like a Magic Johnson, right? For like the best player in organization history, right? Maybe not the best player, like if we're talking about NFL history, but I definitely have to side with our guy Daryl Green there, and also I believe he's the George Mason coach, if I'm not mistaken. So he still has ties in this area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to put a hog in there. I get that. Bobby Mitchell as well, underrated guy who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, passed away like within the last like 2 years. I think that's wasn't that the decal that they had on their jerseys, like the number? I think that was for Bobby Mitchell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Green is so automatic, bro. Like this guy, I'm not surprised if he ran like a 4.15, like 40-yard dash. This guy was insane in terms of speed. I mean, players are still talking about that to this
They
day.
didn't record 4-yard dashes back then, so we wouldn't know, right?
Yeah. True. But no, I gotta tip my hat to Jarish for this one. The next question I do want to ask though. I mean, this has been fun. I didn't even plan for this. Top 5 players, Washington history, but I do want to ask you about the game tomorrow night. The Washington football team versus the Cincinnati Bengals, preseason game number 2 on the 2021 preseason game slate. How long do you think the starters are going to play tomorrow, Abdul?
How long? I'd say the same amount as the Patriots game, maybe like a series or 2.
Okay.
But I'm more interested to see. I want to see William Jackson out there. He's playing against Jamar Chase, and reports out there saying that William Jackson hasn't been looking great in practice. Granted, he's been going against Terry McLaurin, and a guy that should have made the top 100 list. But we all know cornerbacks come here. Ronald Darby, you plug him in, plays amazing. So I can't wait to see that. And also, as we said earlier, Dustin Hopkins, I want to see him make his kicks, man. There's no excuses for you not to. I want to see Taylor Heineke make great decisions. I want to see De'Ami Brown, just a downfield shot. I want to see that. He tripped last week. That really sucked. I was hoping he would get a touchdown. A deep touchdown tomorrow against the Bengals would be a cherry on top. But that's pretty much what I'm looking for.
Okay. I think I'll disagree with you on this. I think this is going to be their dress rehearsal game, and I think they're going to get a half tomorrow night, the starters. So we're going to see a little bit more action than last week, which is great, right? And I will say this. Personally, I'm looking forward to the Jarrett Patterson show. Looking forward to seeing him just continue to produce and really solidify his place on the roster. Because right now, it looks like he's a good candidate for the roster right now, but like really solidify it potentially tomorrow night, if not next week. But I'm looking forward to that show going on. I'm looking forward to Kyle Allen also being back, seeing what he got. Obviously, he's not our starter or anything, but like still seeing if he actually shows some things. Because apparently in practice, speaking of guys who have not looked good in practice, he has not looked good whatsoever. So we shall see about that. William Jackson, all this talk, bro, it's overblown. I think William Jackson is going to be a legit star on this team.
He's your boy. You can hype him up.
Yes. If not this season, then like at least over some time over his contract. Like I think he's going to be a legit stud for us. I mean, we talk about everybody he has in front of him. A lot of people forget everybody he has behind him as well. He has a guy like Landon Collins who's back with the vengeance. I mean, I'm still not super sold on Landon Collins and what we're going to have out of him. I mean, everybody's like, oh, he's going to return back to his all-pro self, which was like 5 years ago. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think he's going to be good.
I forgot John Bates. Sammy Reyes is out. Yeah. I want to see him perform. It's a great opportunity. Tariq Hemingway got blasted last week. I just saw that on live television. Ricky Seals-Jones, he's solid, but we drafted this guy, and I want to see what he can do, man. It's his time to shine.
Yeah, almost as bad as the Tim Tebow mess ups at the tight end position in terms of his blocking. But no, I definitely agree. That's a very good point. I think John Bates can get a lot of action tomorrow night, which is great to see. 4th round pick, tight end. We didn't see too much of him last week, so should be exciting. Also, someone who's not talked about enough, I believe, in Steve Montez. I mean, he was very, very shaky at the beginning of his play last week, but he did get better towards the end of the game. Looking forward to at least seeing some more positive signs out of him. But no, the guy that I'm most looking forward to watching is someone who you mentioned, De'Ami Brown. I hope this guy gets open a couple of times, gets Ryan Fitzpatrick throws him the ball deep down the field a couple of times, right? Because we saw mostly slants last week, right? With him getting his feet wet in the NFL, first preseason game action, which totally makes sense. But I think we're all high on De'Ami Brown and what he brings to the table. So hopefully he could be really good this year, and hopefully he shows some signs tomorrow night. But I do want to get to, this isn't preseason related, but the whole name stuff situation, because obviously that's still running rampant. I didn't even mention the video that the team put out early this week. I don't know what that was. It was so scripted, bro. It was cringe.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it was cringe towards the end of it. But It's fine. I appreciate the effort that the team put out, and
Yeah, they're
it
trying.
was good fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm in the Red Wolves or bust train at this point. I do like Sentinels. I actually like it. A lot of maybe young fans might not like it. I like the meaning. I like the sound. I know the movie, right, made fun of like the former name, right, while the DC team was named the Sentinels. I get that. I get that the replacements. I get it. But I like the Sentinels. I do. You guys know Washington Football Club or Washington Football Team. I know that's like semantics for some people, but for me, that makes a difference. And was there any other name? I don't like Commanders. That's so corny, bro. That's so corny. Like, I don't like Commanders. Yeah, I mean, obviously Warriors is not it. And it's funny. Warriors, it's such a conflicting name for me. I mean, one, obviously, I hate the Golden State Warriors, so it would take a while for me to get used to that. But also, like, a lot of my basketball teams growing up are named the Warriors and stuff. So it's a very conflicting name. But obviously, we don't have to deal with it because they won't be named that. But yeah, man, I think it's Red Wolves or bust. Another question I want to ask you while also giving my thoughts as well. Wolves alone instead of Red Wolves. Personally, I think we should go Red Wolves and make Wolves be our skins, right? Like that we used to call ourselves, right? For short for Red Wolves. Do you think of it like the same way?
Yeah, I do, and I love the colorway. I love Red Wolves, to be honest. Same thing with you. I think it's that or bust. Just imagine at FedEx Field, everyone howling on third down. I love the concept of it, and I just dislike Warriors as well because we would be overshadowed by the NBA team. Yeah. So yeah, it's Red Wolves or bust for me as well.
Yeah. I just don't think the Washington Wolves, it just doesn't have the same.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't to me. Also, I mean, again, some fans might not care about this. I care about the HTTR. It's easy. It's an easy hashtag. Like if you're a content creator in this community, I feel like you care a little bit more because like that's an easy hashtag to like reference the team and stuff. And like, I mean, what was their hashtag last year? Washington football. Like it was. So,
I mean, like every team has it. Like the Saints have Who Dat, or the Cowboys they have We Them Boys. We want our own HTTR. Still got to keep that, man.
Yeah. I love. See, we agree sometimes. Jarris's take right here. Imagine if we were named the Red Wolves and drafted Sam Howell. I mean, Sam Howell is the guy that I want in next year's rookie class at the quarterback position, and obviously the guy that I want beyond like anybody. And I can ask you this question now because we did talk about him a little bit earlier. Aaron Rodgers, out of any quarterback that could start for this Washington football team in 2022. Let's put Deshaun Watson aside because I don't know if it's legal trouble. I feel like it's just doing not Deshaun Watson, but like I guess the woman came forward and stuff. I feel like it's not doing them justice to just talk about him as like a potential starter here in DC with everything going on. It's a very very sad and bad situation overall. But if I were to Watson aside, if I were to choose any quarterback to start here in 2022 for the Washington football team who's like going to be a free agent or might be on the trade block, whatever, Aaron Rodgers is my guy. Aaron Rodgers is my guy. You guys know how I felt for the last couple of months in free agency and stuff when all that chaos was going down in Green Bay before he ultimately had that press conference and stuff. And I think Aaron Rodgers, MVP guy. I mean, he won the MVP award last season, not 2 years ago, not 6 years ago, not 7 years ago. Last season, he's still a MVP quarterback in this league. I know he's 38 years old, but guys, he's going to play until he's 44, 45 if he really cares, if he's on a legit winning team, and I think he'll be on that here in DC. Everybody talks about the cap space. Guys, did you not see the Saints literally maneuver around the salary cap last season? They were, what, $50+ million in debt? And then within the span of a couple of weeks, they were like plus 10, like 5 million or something like that. Like, guys, the teams, if they care, if they want a player,
yes, it will happen. Yeah.
Yes, it will happen. Like, it's the NFL, bro. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
Arrogant quarterback. Come on, bro. Stop it. Aaron Rodgers, guys, like, he is the best quarterback that could start for us in 2022. I'm not talking about like salary cap wise or like, obviously it would be great to have a rookie quarterback who's here 15+ years and work with him. But I'm saying in terms
of his jersey.
Yes, exactly. But in terms of like the best quarterback that could start for this Washington football team come
That's
week 1 in Washington 2022. And I'm talking about like realistic as well. Aaron Rodgers. Like, I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He's still a bad man, and
Bad.
bad man,
Yeah.
and Terry McLaurin wears number 17. Devontae Adams wears number 17. The dots are clicking, man. But I completely agree. Aaron Rodgers is still that man at age 38, still playing at an amazing level, and it would be amazing for him to come to DC. If he comes to DC, I'm going to that game for sure.
For sure. We will go together, bro. Like
we gotta go.
Oh my gosh, bro! If this guy, I don't even want to talk about that because we have a whole season, bro, before next free agency and everything. Next, the trade rumors coming around, all that. But I do want to ask you a couple more questions. Hopefully, we'll get out of here 8:05, 8:10, if that's okay with you. I don't know if
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. But a couple more questions about the game, and then one last question. You already know the last question, but still, I'll ask you anyways. The couple questions I want to ask you first and foremost. Which player do you think scores the first touchdown tomorrow night on any team?
Oh, team. I say we go off. We'll go. We're gonna, if we get the ball first, we're gonna drive down the field and score.
Who's gonna score it?
I'm gonna say. I'll say Logan Thomas.
Okay.
I'll say Logan Thomas.
That's a good guess.
Guess. And if we don't get the ball first, I think the defense will be able to stop it against. I think who's Ryan Finley, second string quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ryan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And we went against Finley last year when Burrow went down, so he knows how good this defensive line is. So yeah.
No, personally, I know for the people out there who watched last week's stream, this is probably going to be a repeat of what I said, but I think this is going to actually happen this week. I think it's going to be Fitzy setting up Terry, or setting up. I think it's going to be Fitzy throwing a deep pass to Terry and then setting up Gibson for a rushing touchdown this week. I think that's going to be the first score in this game. I said the same thing last week, but I'm holding to it this week. And another thing that I wanted to ask you as well, two questions, sort of, they're both about the Cincinnati Bengals, or at least Bengals related. First question I want to ask you, who are you most interested in seeing on the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow night? Second question I want to ask you, and I think this is the more fun question, how do you think, and obviously we have the Ravens, right, DMV, how do you think the AFC North will shape up this year with the Bengals having to vie for the division with the Ravens, Browns, and Steelers?
So I said it earlier, but Jamar Chase, a guy from LSU, was electric. I want to see him play. Honestly, I wanted him as a wide receiver, but stuff happens. But for the AFC North, I have Cleveland at 1, Baltimore at 2, Pittsburgh at 3, and Cincinnati at 4. A lot of people don't know this. I'm going to ask you, when's the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers had a losing record? Let's see if you know the year.
It's been a long time.
2003. Ladies and gentlemen,
insane.
I was 1 year old.
We had a losing season last year, bro. We were division champs, and we had a losing season last year.
Yeah, just think about that. Now, but Mike Tomlin, a great head coach. They still have an elite defense, with T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick. Don't even talk about that Madden reign that he had. But I can't wait to see what they do. Najee Harris, he's looking like he's going to be a stud. So, yeah. And I really think that they could fight for that second spot against Baltimore, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 1,000% on the standings. I think it's going to be Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I think 3 of those teams will probably, especially because it's the AFC, not the NFC, will probably make the playoffs next year with seven playoff teams in the AFC, 17-game season. I think those are going to be the 3. Cincinnati, I think they're going to improve from last year, but I just don't think, I think they're a defense. I mean, it's a lot, but I think they're a defense away from being like a legit good team. They have the offensive skill makers. I mean, the offensive line, to this day, I think they should have gone after Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase. I don't know if that's a hot take, but Penei Sewell is a generational talent at tackle, and they just said, no, Joe Burrow, with your injury, we don't care. We'll give you another weapon. Jonah Williams is coming back for them, which is fine. But
the center from Ohio State, am I right? I don't know.
For the Bengals?
The Bengals, they have the center. Who's their center right now? No, am I thinking? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah.
No, but I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they have a good interior offensive lineman as well, if I'm not mistaken, alongside Jonah Williams. But
And also they have T. Higgins and
yeah.
Tyler Boyd.
Like I said, they have weapons. They have Joe Mixon in the backfield. They have weapons on offense. It's just you can't just win with weapons on offense. You need to win in the trenches. That's most important. Your defensive line, offensive line are not good. They lost Carl Lawson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Who actually, I don't know if you saw. I think it was Carl Lawson.
Not for the
Achilles.
Yeah.
After that's sad. He just got paid 3 years, $45 million for the New York Jets. He was on, I don't know if you saw their series. They have like an actual Hard Knocks type of series for the New York Jets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I suggest all you guys check it out on the New York Jets YouTube page. But Carl Lawson was like a big figure on that show, whatever you want to call it, show, documentary, whatever. And no, that's sad. 3 years, $45 million. The Jets were super excited to have him. They thought he could potentially be one of the best defensive ends in the league this year. Thought he was very, not a lot of people knew about him because he played for the Bengals and all that. But that's sad. But no, other than that, though, I mean, the Bengals didn't have a lot on defense, right? Like with him, and then now without him.
They do have Jesse Bates, but that's just one person.
Yeah, that's not enough. They have William Jackson as well. Then obviously came here. But nah, I agree with you once again with the standings and also with the guy that you chose as who you're most interested in seeing tomorrow night. That's Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, he hasn't played an actual game or an actual game that matters since 2019, which a lot of people don't realize, right? And from what I've heard, he's not looking too hot.
I've heard reports that he can't create separation.
Yeah, which is kind of problematic for a top 5 overall pick at receiver. But I think he'll get there. Oh, yeah. He hasn't played in a while. He's just really rusty. Still think they should have went with Penei Sewell, who has had a little bit of struggles as well. But no, I agree with you. Ja'Marr Chase is definitely the guy I'm looking forward to watching.
Have you been watching
matched up with William Jackson?
Have you been watching Hard Knocks? Did you watch the first episode?
Yeah. Have you seen it on YouTube or have you seen it on HBO?
It was so clutch. Some guy posted on YouTube.
Exactly.
That guy is a G. Whoever that is.
Dude, oh my gosh. Yeah. 2 episodes, both of them.
Oh yeah, the new one came out, right? I haven't watched that.
I think they said 24 hours though. I don't know if that matters. You'll be able to find it probably on YouTube.
Yeah. No, but that's another guy I'm watching week 1. Dak Prescott. He's going against the Super Bowl defending champions defense to stop Patrick Mahomes. He's coming off an injury. I remember they said that his throwing arm, there was something around there. I'm honest. I'm gonna feel bad for him week 1. He might get beaten up, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's gonna be scary.
I don't know. Taylor, I agree with you, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He doesn't have an offensive line. I mean, we talk about that. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. You gotta, if you invest the number 1 overall pick in the draft in your quarterback, bro, like the first matter of business has to be the offensive line. I know you want to get your guy weapons, but ultimately we saw what happened in Kansas City, right? You can have all the weapons in the world. You can have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins at the time. You can have all the weapons. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, the running back group that they had last year in the Super Bowl.
You can have the best quarterback in the league, but if you don't have them protecting you, there's
one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time, too. Like, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't have protection. So I don't know Bengals, but that's a whole team's situation, right? We're that's not our team. We're football team fans, right? And speaking of the football team, the Washington Football Club, soon to be Washington Red Wolves. Do you got Washington repeating as NFC East Division champions this year? And how do you think the division will shake out record-wise as well?
So, I think we will win the division. But for second place, I have the Giants. Third, I have the Cowboys. And fourth, I have the Eagles. No, the Eagles, I don't think they'll probably win maybe like 4 to 5 games, 6 at most. The whole debacle there in Philadelphia. The Cowboys, the defense just can't change in one off season, and especially if you change the guy that's calling the plays. The players are playing. Micah Parsons may look like he's a stud, but Dak Prescott coming off an injury. Their offense is elite, but I don't know. I just can't trust that defense. The Giants, it's make or break season for Daniel Jones. I want to see what this man can do. I really hope we beat him because I can't talk trash about him anymore. This is the last shot. We should sweep him this year, hopefully. I just want to beat the man. But, we got to see what he does. He's got a stacked offense, a healthy Saquon, hopefully, a defense heavily underrated, led by Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers, James Bradbury. But I have us as one because we are the most complete team and because we have Ron Rivera leading the pack.
Yeah, on paper, the Giants are a very solid team. I know we both have talked about this on the channel and how Giants have gotten slept on for most offseason. They're a very good team. I mean, they beat us twice, right? But, aside from that point, they got much better in the offseason. I think Daniel Jones is actually going to be solid for them this year. But I was with you too. I had the Giants in second place as well for most of the offseason. But with the injuries that the Giants have had, the Kadarius Toney not looking very good, the fights that have broken out, the coaching, whatever you want to call, has disaster, I guess, that's happened over the offseason. I agree with you, Washington, first place. And if we're going records, I think they're going to win the division, but I'm not like Jairus, who probably thinks they're going to go 12-5. I think they're going to win 9 games. I think they're going to be 9-8 because I consider schedule. I think they're going to have a better defense actually than they had last year. Maybe in terms of rankings, it might not be as good, but I think their defense was also a little bit fluky at times when they played some of the best offenses in the league last year. A lot of people forget the Ravens game. A lot of people forget all these not even solid offenses, but even the Lions, for example, we gave up, I believe, 30 points in that game. A lot of these times when we play very good offenses, we just fell flat. And I'm not saying that's going to happen this year. I'm just saying I think our defense is going to improve this year. I just don't think, it's going to carry us to 5-6 plus more wins than we had last year. Because you got to consider schedule. Last year we had a fourth place schedule, right? This year we have a first place schedule. So you got to consider that. The Buffalo Bills was our 17th added game. They were in the AFC Championship game. They're legit Super Bowl contenders this year. So I think the Washington football team is going to be 9-8 this year. I've had them going that record for the entire offseason, sticking to it, just like I stick with 7-9 last year. So there's some credibility there. 9-8, they're still going to win the division. The Cowboys are going to be 9-8. We're going to win on a tiebreaker. The Giants are going to be, what do I have them? I think I had them as 8-9. Yep, 8-9. And then I have the Eagles at 6-11. That's how I got the standings going.
Okay.
But let's see, we're going 11-6 to 11-6. I'm assuming. You're saying, but no. Again, guys, we have a super talented team, but sometimes it's not just about how talented your team is. Sometimes it's about the circumstances, about your schedule. And I know, obviously, towards the middle or maybe even towards the end of the season, we're going to look at our schedule and be like, oh, it actually wasn't as bad as we thought, right? Like we did last year. But I think there are enough solid, at least quarterbacks that we're going to play that make our schedule pretty daunting.
Yeah. I agree.
10-7, at least Hopkins will cost us 3 games per usual. Man, if we don't get that kicker situation.
No, what's crazy, it's our defense is good one year, offense questionable. Now that we have both teams, we have to worry about the special teams. It's there's no way where just every a year where everything can be balanced,
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, special teams has been an issue overall. We're talking about kickers. You got to consider kick return, punt return as well. So hopefully maybe even Jared Patterson can step in. But I agree with what you said at the very start of the stream, and DeAndre Carter showing some very good things and not being discussed enough, honestly. In what he showed.
Here's a question. Do you know who Destroying is, the YouTuber?
Yeah.
Would you mind if we gave him a tryout?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, we talked about this off camera. I just watched All American. They gave a high school student who literally hadn't played football in her entire life. They gave her a chance at kicker. I know it's a fictional movie, but still, anything could happen, right? I'm just saying, I think the best guy for the job should be the kicker. And I think Dustin Hopkins, if he continues showing bad performances like he had last week, and I think he's had, the last couple of seasons, then we should think about going in a different direction. I don't think that's that's it's fair to just say, oh, he's our guy. We're gonna stick with him for the long haul. Like
When's the last time we had a stable kicker? I don't. It's like when are we gonna have our Greg Zerline or Justin Tucker? I don't know.
like our Tressway. We've had our
Yeah.
Tressway at punter, but not our kicker. I agree with you. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean we had Kai Forbath. All of our kickers. I don't know if you remember. All of our kickers, as soon as they leave our team and go to a different team, they're actually very good. Like Kai Forbath, Graham Gano. Who else? There were some other guys as well. Like
I don't know if Billy Cundiff wasn't that good, was he? I don't know.
wasn't he like okay, like pretty solid actually for the Ravens for a couple seasons? Then he
Yeah.
just obviously.
Well, no, Cundiff was the one that missed the AFC Championship kick.
But like before that, I feel
before-
like he was good. Like before that, I think that's when things started going downhill. Like when they ultimately got Justin Tucker and
I don't know
the
whatever
best
happened to
kicker of
Nick
all time.
Rose. I don't know if he's on a team right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is like Kai Forbath and Graham Gano were two guys who were super problematic here in DC, and then like as soon as they went to other teams, they were automatic, which is just
Like, dude, sometimes like it's so bad with Hopkins that I don't even want to look when he kicks. I'm scared that he's gonna miss.
Yeah. I mean, Jarris 9-8 is unacceptable. I don't agree with that. I think 9-8, you can win the division with 9-8 this year. I still believe that. Again, you guys, like, I get it. You know, as fans, we want them to win 11, 12, 13 plus games. And I get we also have a 17 game. But I feel like I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to look at the schedule objectively and see where we're going to win games, where we're going to lose games. Like I said, I think week 1, I mean, I said earlier that we're going to lose, but I mean, it's 50-50 at this point. We'll see where I'm at like come week 1, but 50-50 week 1, have some tough games. The Bills are our 17th game. I don't know.
Right.
And I don't agree. Like, if we show signs, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. Like, I think right now we're building for the long haul, and we got to appreciate that. This is still, a lot of people forget, this is still a rebuilding team, guys. Like,
And
I know we won.
team.
Yes, exactly. We won the division last year. It was 7-9. This is still a rebuilding team. I know. I'm done with settling for mediocre as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is one of the reasons I said when everybody was like, "Why should we go over after Aaron Rodgers? Why should we go after?" This was obviously before the allegations. Deshaun Watson. These great quarterbacks are going to cost so much, guys. We can't play with scared money. Like, I've been saying that how many streams now? Like, I agree with you. We need to get that quarterback. But I also am objective when it comes to predicting the records for this Washington football team over the years, right? And I just think 9-8 is a fair take. I think 10-7 is more likely than 8-9. I'll give you that. But 9-8, I think is pretty fair. Last question I want to ask you, Abdul, and I apologize for keeping you over. I know like you're super busy out in college and all that. But last question, super quickly, you know what's coming up. What are your thoughts on the future of this Washington football franchise? Do you think Coach Rivera is leading this team so that in the next 2-3 years, could potentially be Super Bowl contenders, if not in the Super Bowl outright?
You know, I've been a fan since 2009, and I've never felt a way that this team has ever since Ron Rivera has been here. You know, I think he's really serious about making this team make just a winning culture is what we need, and I think he's serious about it. You know, we can just see the whole social media team looks different. It just people. It's like I can go out in public and say that I'm a Washington fan without saying I'm embarrassed to say it. You know,
No.
It's going the right direction. That's all I can say, and we're only going up from here.
Yeah, I agree, man. We talked about this before. Hopefully, they can win a Super Bowl soon. And like, I mean, all the years of pain, all the years, and I've been talking about this for a while. I've been a fan since 07, so just a couple years before you. And like,
just dude,
all the years of just going. For me, the most like rewarding experience if this team ever wins something big. The most rewarding experience is gonna be looking back and remembering how going to high school, going to like middle school, wearing the gear, win, loss, it doesn't really matter. Just winning the gear, getting embarrassed for it. Like people like saying, "Why are you a fan of the Redskins? Like they're so terrible. Like pick a different team." Like that's probably gonna be one of the first things I look back on. Like that embarrassment. Like you talk about, like just going out in public, wearing the gear, everybody saying Deadskins. Like
where's Haskins? You know.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Haskins,
no,
man.
the sun will rise one day, and we will win the Super Bowl, and I can't wait to rub it in those people's faces, man.
Bro,
That'll be the day.
will be that will be awesome. That'll be awesome. But I mean, we
I-
gotta get
when we win the Super Bowl, I think like all the DMV area should have school off for a day. I think that should.
especially if it's Ravens Washington football team.
Yeah,
I mean, Ravens Red Wolves potentially like that. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this. I mean, we got 17 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for watching the Watch the Football weekly live stream that we have, the preseason game number 2 edition. But we talked a lot more about other like topics, right? Top 5 list, top 100 list that the NFL Network has put out, the players have put out. We talked about what else? The glory days, the not so glory days, like record predictions. So if you guys are just joining, make sure to press rewind and check back our stream. But thank you guys once again so much for watching Jared's Sports Takes. I'll be right. Okay, bro. Did you predict 7-9 last year? I'm pretty sure you didn't, bro. Outlaw Kings, Roger Smith as well, always joining. Appreciate all of you guys. Who else? I don't want to miss out on anybody. Taylor Bouchard. Yep, of course. Everybody from earlier. Yeah, 3-time Super Bowl champ Skins, and yeah,
you think
Lions fan.
Do you think it's too soon to talk about the interview? Or you think we should?
Ooh, I think we should wait. We should wait on it.
Got it.
But we got a cool interview.
Special content coming out.
Yeah, we got a cool interview. Thanks to Abdullah. We got a cool interview coming up. So yeah, we'd win the division, bro. Stop it. Okay, did you say we were gonna win the division at 7-9? Stop it. You think you're slick, bro? No. You did not predict 7-9 last year. Stop it. Probably predicted 9-8 or 10-7. Stop. Or 9-8, 9-7 or 10-6. Okay.
It's so weird saying 10-7, man. Oh man.
It really is. It really is. I hate because the records. Like I just hate that the most. Like 1,000-yard receiver season will never be looked at the same. Like I just hate that. Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's gonna be looked at as much easier.
And they're gonna bring it up that it sucks.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah. We will, Jairus, potentially on Tim's stream. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're craving for a Super Bowl 2. You guys are awesome. You really gotten our channel to grow over the last couple of weeks, really since
close to 1K, almost there, man.
Almost to 1K. I mean, we've gained like almost 500 subs in the last pretty much a month now. Thank you guys so much. Abdullah, thank you so much, bro, for all the great content that you've been putting. I mean, you got recaps out there, post-game recaps. You've been putting content about training camp. It was like back and forth, right, over that week. Thank you so much.
Oh, if you haven't, go watch the training camp vlog. It was such a fun experience. Just go check it out right now. It's on the channel.
For sure.
It was fun.
For sure. Tim joined. Thanks for joining, bro. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Abdullah, do you want to plug any last thing before we head out of here?
Hail to the football team. That's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. See you guys on the next one. Have a great game tomorrow night. I'll probably have a post-game recap as well coming out tomorrow night. So don't think you're not going to go without your content here on the DMVSportsZone channel. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the DMVSportsZone channel. Also, make sure to follow our Twitter page at DMVSportsZone and our Instagram page, lowercase DMVSportsZone, where we kind of post daily content, every other day content on there. So it's very lively on there.
One of our coworkers, Evan, the guy also on this was a Sports Center, right?
Yeah, he was on Sports Center.
Go check out the IG page. He's global now.
Yeah. I mean, he's the Nats fan. He's been the Nats fan for a long time, but it's cool that he's finally getting the recognition, not just locally, but like nationwide now. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to check out our Twitter to see what we're talking about, and also our Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we got some content coming up. Peace out.